Is astral projection permitted in Islam? I have been practicing this and have now started to hear it may be impermissible.
Okay, good question. Good question. I also learned how to do that when I was involved in the Anthroposophical Society. I studied for years on how to do that, and it's not an accident that that question just popped up now, because the moment that I first left my body on this astral protection, that's the moment that's the second moment in my life when I heard the angel call my name. And not only did the angel call my name, but they said one more thing. They said, "It is not necessary." Now, in the vision that I was entertaining as part of the meditation for this astral travel, I was being trained as an initiate. Okay. I had married the daughter of two initiates of the Anthroposophical Society, and they were high initiates. I've been to the Goetheanum. My name is still on the rolls there as a student of Rudolf Steiner, enrolled in the Anthroposophical Society. Um, the moment that I was doing this, I was sitting at my desk doing the usual meditation, which I've been doing for 10 years or more. And in my mind's eye, I was already out of my body. I could see myself sitting at my desk, but I could also see before me what appeared to be a huge door with a golden or brass handle. And I reached out and I knew that if I opened that door, I would be able to fly through, you see. So I was reaching for the door, and that's when the angel said, Lenny. Leonard is my Christian name, my birth name. And those closest to me call me Lenny. So the angel said, Lenny, it is not necessary. Just like that. I withdrew my hand and I never went back to that meditation. Now, let me follow up that personal experience with one more remark, and then we'll close this session down now because we've been at it for almost an hour and a half. Um, it is not the sunnah. Astral projection is not the sunnah. Now, what I mean by that is uh, it is not the sunnah that a saint or a prophet desires to leave the body and enter heaven. No, that's not what happens. What happens is that an angelic escort comes and takes them to heaven. You do not enter heaven or the other unseen realms of your own will because it's a dangerous thing to do. So the my recommendation is don't do it. As with respect to permissible impermissibility, I don't know. I'm not a jurisprudent in Islam. That's one of their decisions. I'm sure it's well delineated someplace. But my guess would be it's not recommended. If it's not impermissible, it's certainly not recommended. Okay. Now there are certainly some schools who say, "Oh, it's great. You can prove yourself to be a saint." Then beware of those people. Beware of them, because those are the liars. When the Prophet made his hijrah, um, he entered the heavens with angelic escort. They came and took him. The angels came and took him. He did not say or will to go. And that's the example of story after story after story after story of every messenger of Allah throughout the scriptures that I'm aware of. The angels come. The angels announce themselves. They tell you their name. They tell you why they are there. And then they tell you the command of Allah. And they always say salam. They always greet you with the salam. So I would get away from those practices. If Allah wanted us to have those experiences, um, we probably wouldn't be here, you see, because um, we're here to prove ourselves on faith. And what you're doing when you practice astral projection is you're trying to prove the existence of something that you should believe on faith. You see? And so it's an act of unbelief. You see? You should be able to look at a tree and say, oh, yeah, there's a God. Look at that. Look how marvelous that is. You should be able to look at your own body or just the anatomy of your eye and say, oh, yeah, look at that. That's intelligent design. You should be like any of the new physicists now who are throwing up their hands in despair because they're proving the existence of an intelligent designer with their studies. You see? Now, they're not practicing astral projection. They're practicing hardcore science, which is something Muslims shy away from, as if it was shaitan, as if it was Lucifer himself. We can't do science. That's too hard. Science will lead you to faith if you do it properly. You don't need astral travel, brother or sister. Stay away from it. I did.